So, hello friends, I am Umendra and today we see the full information of the AI, machine learning and deep learning. So, let's go. So, this is today's content. We see the content of that AI. So, firstly, introduction of that AI and then machine learning and then deep learning and difference between AI, ML and DL. It is a artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. And then other as a supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, reinforcement learning, backpropagation neutral network in AI, expert system in artificial intelligence. This is a content of today's. So introduction to the AI. So what is AI? AI is an artificial intelligence. It is a advanced technology. It is a use in the many more industries. So artificial intelligence is a popular branch of that computer science and that concerns with the buildings intelligence smart machine capable of the performing intelligent tasks with rapid advancement in a deep learning, machine learning and tech industry in a transforming radically. It's including artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So, firstly, see the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a own intelligence. It is a artificially intelligent, and this is a capable or a computer programming device that manually or automatically do the work. As an example, as a chat GPT and open source AI is the form of artificial intelligence. It is a own intelligence and then see again. So introduction to AI levels. So artificial narrow intelligence. So this is the types of artificial intelligence. So artificial general intelligence and then third is artificial super intelligence and then types of artificial intelligence is deep learning, machine learning and artificial intelligence. It is a part of that artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence used in the all industries like it is a statistics also use 100% adapt wise the need of that AI and again AI and chips like Intel and many more companies use the chips of AI and also use in the graphs. It is 100% adaptable in a many PowerPoint websites and many more apps and also it is a use in the chemical or science technologies and also computer technology and also science and technologies and also AI is a use and also car, vehicles and everything. It is a AI used to Tesla in the today's era. It is a self-driving as a AI working and it is a statistics also used by AI in the Excel. Also home and colleges and many more industries use artificial intelligence in the today's era. And then see the machine learning. So what is a machine learning? Machine learning is a subfield of the artificial intelligence and that's use algorithms to enable computer systems to learn from data and improve their performance. on the task without being explicitly programming. It is a used to analyze large datasets and identify patterns, generalized form. Example, algorithms, build and models. And also machine learning is a type of AI that enables the machine to learn from data and deliver predictive models. And also the machine learning is not a depend on the any implicit programming but that the data fed into its capabilities but data fed into its complicated process based on the data you fed into machine learning algorithms and training give it to output is delivered and predictive algorithms will create a predictive models in the AI and see again next slide is the deep learning. So what is the deep learning? So deep learning is a including in the artificial intelligence. So deep learning again subfield of that machine learning that is a concern with the algorithms and inspired that's a brain structures and function known as a artificial neutral network neural network and also it is a use in the many computers and robotics of deep learning and computer model can be taught using a deep learning to run classification actions using picture text and sound as a input. AI versus machine learning and deep learning and see the comparison versus. So firstly artificial intelligence and then machine learning and then deep learning. Artificial intelligence is originated around 1915s and machine learning originated around 1916s and deep learning originated around 1970s. It is a difference of the 10 years and AI represent stimulate intelligence in machine learning. Machine learning is the practice of the getting machine to make decision without being programming and deep learning is a process of their using artificial neurals and solve the complex problem. It is a aim artificial intelligence it is the aim to build machines which capable thinking and humans intelligence. It is a deep machine learning is a aim to learn machine and solve the complex problem. And also deep learning aim to build a neural networks that automatically discover patterns for feature detection. And where is a AI use in the today's era? So AI is a use in all places like predictive analysis, real-time operation management, plus customer services, risk management and analytics, customer insight, pricing and promotions, research and development, knowledge creations for detection like cyber securities and different things, human resource as a HR to use AI for a use and supply chain as a distribution and delivery chains like a customer experience as a chat gpt and then use case of AI use case in the healthcare. So it is a use in the training, keeping well, early detection, diagnosis, decision making, treatment, end of life care, research, and also robotics use the AI, and also AI use in the human resource like recruitment, onboarding, engagement, and learning. So employee life learning, life cycle. Sorry, it is including the that circle like recruitment, selection, performance, succession and development and transition. It is a cycle of that employment life cycle, including dynamic career sites, smart sourcing in the recruitment and onboarding, automated messengers, curated videos. Before some years ago, so recruitment process is manually, but today's era, the AI chat and AI technologies as a chatbot is checking the all process like resume checking by the ATS system. It is a AI based system, and also test or aptitude by the AI, and also onboarding automatically messaged curated videos and engagement HR chatbot is using also AI and engagement surveys and learning curated training and skill development. Also, companies use to our employees skill development through this AI because today's era the time is more valuable for companies and fasting growing industries that use the AI, and also AI in a banking for fraud detection. It is a cycle and it is a process of that how to detect that fraud. So it is a shareholder profiles and it is a payment and non-mandatory transaction positioning payment system, non-momentary system, and analytics workstations. It is all connected to the neural network engine, scoring engine, and auto request and the transaction scores and case creation modules and case information, and then export authentications response modules and expert rules base, and then it's connect with the configuration workstations and rules definitions, and then case management database. It is a process of that banking to fraud detection of by the cyber attack or any other fraud, and AI used in the supply chain. So today's era the AI used in the supply chains as a structured and unstructured information like regulatory data, B2B, business to business, transaction data, inventory data, multimedia data, and sensor data, logistic data, trading partners data, social media data. It is a different types of data in the structured and unstructured information like logistic, procurement, manufacturing, customer services. It is a using the fingerprint by the automatically sensing the and verify and identify the management of the transient users like a preventive visibility, proactive replacement, predictive maintenance, secure device maintenance, ecosystem integrations, unified messaging, actionable insights, digital ecosystem, data lack, and also AI used in the chatbots in the healthcare as a search engine, social platforms, smartphones, app ecosystem, messenger app, artificial intelligence, health chatbots like a smart engines. Users learn to search from information and social platforms like Facebook's connect user online and smartphones like bring to internet online app ecosystems like lets user downloads and apps easily and manager apps like user chat anywhere anytime. Artificial intelligence is a self-learning becomes smarter and effective and accurate and health chatbot bring all the above together for healthcare use cases. Why is AI booming now? Because of that today's era, the everyone require the fast, accurate and efficient device. So all qualities including in the AI. That's why AI booming in the today's era. AI all sectors use because of efficiency and it is a reduce the human errors and also it is a identify all process like a organizational developing AI by function areas and presentation of artificial intelligence skills by country United States, Israel, China, Germany, India, and also global AI revenue forecast by 2025 ranked by use case in the millions US dollars in the 2025 report and 10 AI trend in the 2020. So it is a use in the 2010 trending places like robotic process automation. AI will make healthcare more accurate. Data modeling will move to edge. AI will come from B2B and AI powered chatbot, AI in retail, aerospace and flight operations controlling by AI mediate in media and entertainment, advancement securities, cyber securities, automated business process, etc. And then see the next part 2 is a machine learning, including that topics. So what is a machine learning? So machine learning including it is a part of AI and also it is a automatically do the work by the AI. It is a subfield of the artificial intelligence that use algorithms and data structures for a computer system to learn data and improve performance tasks without explicitly programmed. So machine learning use data is the input and traditional programming and then output. Data means program and output machine learning and program. So learning, machine learning and its output is input and output. Machine learning is a result of this general AI that involves developing machines that can be deliver results better than humans. That's why AI and machine learning use 7 steps of machine learning. So gathering data and 2 is preparing of the data, choosing model, training, evaluation, prediction, hyperparameters, tuning, etc. And then machine learning versus traditional programming. So it is a traditional programming, and this is a machine learning programming. So prediction, and it is a firstly see the traditional modeling. It is a first step is prediction, and then data, and then handcraft model. It is a connect to the computer, and then it's a giving the result. And machine learning like prediction and learning, and then sample data, expected result, new data, model. Model is connect with the model, and sample data, expected result it connect with the computer, and computer giving the output as a model, and then new data and model connect with the computer, and computer giving the result. So it is a process of that machine learning and traditional learning. And how does machine learning work? So it is a all the parameters of machine learning working. So it is a defining objectives, collect data, prepare data, select algorithms, train model, test model, integrated model. So define objectives including identify the problem to be solved and create a clear objectives, and collect data includes collect data from the hospitals, health and hospitals, insurance companies, social services, agencies, and police and fire department, and prepare data including crucial steps and involves buildings, workflows, and clean matches and blend data, and select algorithms including it is a depend on the problem to be solved and the type of data like algorithm will be chosen, and then train model including data is a fed into algorithms configurations parameters and utilize it, and then test model including utilizes model accuracy depending results, and select algorithms phases iteratively, and then integrated models including publish and prepared experiment as a web services applications can use the model. And then next is a machine learning algorithms. So machine learning use the three algorithms like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So supervised learning including regression, linear, polymer, polymer, and then decision tree, and then random forest, and then classification as a KNN, trees, logistic regression, Naive Bayes, SVM, and unsupervised including clustering, SVD, PCA, key means. It is a that's why continuous, and then association analysis, a priori FP growth, and then hidden Markov models. It is a categorical, and reinforcement is the third, including and then machine learning use cases. So machine learning is a use in the healthcare, life science, and then retail, and then manufacturing, travel, hospitalities, finance services, energy, feedstocks, and utilities. So healthcare and life cycles use machine learning as a arts diagnostics from real-time patients data, and your text here predictive health management and healthcare provider, and retail is a predictive inventory planning and recommendation engines, and manufacturing as a predictive maintenance and condition and monitoring, and demand forecasting, process optimization, and telematics, and then travel and hospitalities, aircraft scheduling, dynamic pricing, traffic partners and congestion management, and financial services, risk analytics, regulations, and creative worthiness evaluation, and energy, feedstock and utilities, power uses analytics, and then smart grid management, energy demand and supply optimization. It is a use of that machine learning in the different fields. And then how to choose machine learning algorithms, because we require the good and efficient and accurate device to do the work. So it is a process of choosing the machine learning algorithms. So how to select machine learning algorithms? What do you want to do with your data? Algorithm cheat sheet. Additional requirement: accuracy, training time, linearity, number of parameter, number of features. Why use decision tree machine learning algorithms? So tree machine learning, it is a use for a it is a tree leaves like roots of that trees. It is a decision trees to classify and to predict. It is a classify and it is a predict. So classify including responsibilities. Responsibilities variable has a multiple categories, and variable has only responsibilities variable has only two categories. Use standards classification here. Use C45 implementation, and then to predict responsible vari valuable variable is a continuous. It's a linear relationship, non-linear relationship, and use standards. Use C4 implementations in the decision of the tree machine learning. And then challenges and limitations of the machine learning. So advantages and disadvantages of that machine learning: easily identify trends and patterns, no humans interventions needs, continuous improvement, handling multidisciplinary, dimensional, multivariate data, wide applications. And disadvantages is the high error susceptibilities and data acquisitions, interpretation, results, time and resources. And then applications of machine learning as a use in the many more places like automatic language translation, medical diagnostic, stock market trading, online fraud detection, visual virtual personal assessment, image recognition, speech recognition as a Google, and it is a use in the ChatGPT also and Google also. Traffic prediction and product recommendation, self-driving cars as a use in the Tesla, email spam and malware filtering also use in the Gmail as a Google. And why is a machine learning important? Phase 1 learning. So training data. So it is a phase 1 is a learning training data. It is a pre-processing learning error analysis, and then phase 2 model new data as a prediction and then predicted data. It is a virtual and predictive data. And phase 1 is a learning based training data is a normalization, dimension reduction, image processing, and then supervised and unsupervised, and then minimizations, etc. Precision recall over fittings, test crosses, etc. And then third part is a deep learning. This is the content of that deep learning. So see the deep learning. So what is a deep learning? So deep learning is a again subfield of the artificial intelligence, and it is a type of artificial intelligence and machine learning use layered artificial neural networks inspired by human brains, because human brains using the neural networks to processing vast amount of data and learning complex pattern without human interventions, and brain structures of that human. And deep learning, what is the deep learning again? So it is an input for extraction, output of the so deep learning process, understanding the problem, identify data, select deep learning algorithm, training models, test models, and then classification of the neural network. So what is neural network? So neural networks is a use in the deep learning, and this is the input layers, hidden layers and output layers. So x1, x2, xn, it is the input layers of that neural networks, and then hidden layers, it is a 1 2 3, it is a connect with the x1, x2 and xn, and output layers is a w11, w22 and wmp, and its output is y1, y2 and y1. It is a classification of neural network. And then types of deep learning network. So types of deep learning is a supervised and unsupervised. So and also it is a two types of the deep learning models. And yes, so supervised machine learning use labeled data, and unsupervised is the enabled. It is a use to unlabeled data where that are no predefined correct answers or outcomes. So it is a artificial neural network NN and convolution neural network CNN, and current neural network RNN, and self-organizes maps SOM, and then Boltzmann machine BM, and autocoder AE. So supervised and unsupervised learning. So artificial, it is a difference of that. It is a artificial neural networks. It is a self-organizing maps, and it is a evaluation neural networks. So it is a deep optimizer machine, and is a recurrent neural networks. Autoencoders use regression and classification, use computer vision, use for time series analysis, and so unsupervised use for feature detection, and use recommendation systems, also used for recommended systems, and feed forward neural network, sorry, it is a part of that deep learning. It is a input layers, hidden layers, and output layers. It is a input, and this is a CPU based, and this is a output, final output of that deep learning, as a variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, and variable 4. I'm giving the one example, like everyone use the Google and Chat GPT. Firstly, text, write the message, and then it is a processing and then output. It is a use deep learning. And then recurrent neural networks, it is a RNNs, so it is a recurrent networks. It is also type of networks in the deep learning. So it is a input layers, and then recurrent networks, hidden layers as a processing parts, and this is the output. And then it is a convolutional neural network, CNN. It is a input and evaluational plus review, and then pooling and convolution plus review and pooling. So this is the all structure of that working of this convolutional neural networks. And then flattens and fully connected and softmax. It is a feature learnings and is a classification of that. And reinforcement learning, so it is a using the action and state reward. So what is a reinforcement learning? It is a type of machine learning where agent learns to make decisions by interacting with environment to achieve a specific goals. So talent learn through the trials and errors, taking action and receiving positive feedback. It is a action, and this is a state and reward. It is a exploration policies, neural networks, filters, memory, algorithms. Algorithms like a root of the trees. And reinforcement learning use rewards and punishment to train computing models and perform a sequence of selections here. Computing forces, sorry, faces a game like scenario where it is a employee trial and error to answer based on the action it is a performs. Computing gets either reward or penalties. It is a goal is to maximizing the rewards. And see the next slide, examples of deep learning application. So deep learning, it is a use in the mobile phones as a selfies and fingerprinting systems in the mobiles as a image recognition. Also it is a use in the companies, industries, and many more colleges to attendance systems. It is a recognize image by deep learning, and then neural natural language processing. It is a use in the processors to analyze and detect that it is a processing. And then portfolio management, prediction and stock price improvement, sorry, movements. It is a use in the stocks and drug discovery, better diagnostics and diseases in healthcare. Speech recognition and robots and self-driving cars. So it is a use as a Tesla for a self-driving cars without human. It is a great achievement of that deep learning and artificial intelligence, because this is a imagination without human being using the car is drive by that technologies. So it is a trending technology, and this is a by using the deep learning and artificial intelligence. And why deep learning important? It is a performance and it is a data. It is a increasing. It is a other learning algorithms and it is a deep learning. So other learning data algorithms is a constant, but deep learning is a day by day and every second and every minute deeply increases, and it is a perform the deep learning task and increasing day by day. And limitations of deep learning is interpretability, statistic reasoning, amount of data. Limitations of deep learning, because any software and any device, it is a advantages and disadvantages. So it is a limitations of that deep learning. And see the difference between AI, ML and deep learning. So artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. It is a images showing the applications of that artificial intelligence engineering of making intelligence machines and programs. Machine learning ability to learn without being explicitly programmed, and deep learning based on a deep neural networks. And why AI? Everyone says AI, AI, AI. And what is AI? AI is a technology. It is a artificially technology. It is a popular branch of computer science that concerns with the buildings intelligent smart machines capable of this performing intelligent tasks, and with a rapid advancements in the deep learning and machine learning, the tech industry transforming readily into a deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Because today's era, that technologies is a requirement for a fast advancement. What is ML? So ML is a introduction of that machine learning. It is a ordinary system, and what is with AI and learning, it is a cycle of the machine learning. It is an ordinary system with AI, machine learning, learns, predict, and then improves. So machine learning is a type of AI that enables machines to learn from data and deliver predictive models. The machine learning is not a dependent on the any explicit programming, but the data fed into it's a complicated process. Based on this data you fed into machine learning and algorithm that training give to output. It is a delivered a predictive algorithms to create predictive models. And why is a deep learning? So artificial intelligence AI is a popular branch of that computer science, and it is a including performance learning and machine technologies. It is a neural networks. So with a rapid advancement in the deep learning and machine learning, tech industries is transforming rapidly because of deep learning. So it is a neural networks of that human brain. Human brain is a power of human. That's why it is a indication and symbol of that deep learning. And machine learning process. It is a data gathering, data cleaning, selection, selecting right algorithms, building models and finalizing data perform transformation into prediction, and then data raw training data, modeling condition, candidate and final. visualization, prediction and strategy. It is a process of deep learning while learning the process, and then deep learning process, it is a starting, then it is a ending. So understand the problem, because any big complex problems requires that steps like understand the problem, identify the data, selection deep learning algorithms, training the models, test models. It is a process of this deep learning. And difference between machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning, it is based on the machine based, and also it is a input, feature extraction, classification and output. It is a And then deep learning is a use input, feature extraction and classification and output. So machine learning is a use in a computer systems and also use algorithms, but deep learning use the neural networks to performing the task, and it is a type of artificial intelligence and machine learning use layer like a neural networks as a human brain, and which is a better to start AI ML or DL. So machine learning is a subset of this AI technique which use statistical method to enable machines to improve with experience. Artificial intelligence and deep learning. So artificial intelligence, any technique which enables computers to mimic human behavior. Deep learning, subset of ML, which makes the computation of this multi-layer neural networks and feasible. And supervised machine learning. So this is the content of the supervised learning. See the supervised. This is the three types of that machine learning. It is a supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So it's mix the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. It is a type of machine learning, and then mixed machine learning. So it is including mixed machine learning, explicitly data with clearly defined output is given, and direct feedback is given, and predict output features, outcome feature future, resolve classification and regression problem. It is a input, training and output, and it is a input, processing and output is a input, rewards and output. It is a machine understand data and identify, then evaluation and then predict, and it is a AI approach, and then a reward based learning, and learning forms plus positive and negative reinforcement, and machine learning how to act in the certain evaluation to minimize rewards. And what is supervised learning? So supervised learning is a use in the labeled data input output pairs to train models to can predict an output for a new unseen data while unused unsupervised machine learning, and it is a training data sets and algorithms. It is a input raw data and then supervisor and training data set and desired output and then algorithm and then processing, and it is output is this. It is the input, it is a processing algorithms and then output, and then how supervised machine learning works. So this is the steps of that supervised machine learning. It is a step 1, step 2. It is a provide the machine learning algorithm categorize or label it into input output data, and step 2 is a fed machine new unlabeled informations data appropriate and continuous refining algorithm. So it is a labeled group 1 and then processing and then machine, and it is a analyze information and then machine processing and then distribute to the group 1 and group 2, and then types of problem which it is a situated. It is a classification and regression sorting item into categories, and it is identify dollars weights values and type of supervised machine learning algorithm. See the classification and regression in the machine learning. So fraud detection, email spam detection, diagnostic, image classification. It is a part of supervised learning, and then regression, risk assessment, score prediction, and then supervised and unsupervised learning. So supervised learning versus, so supervised learning is the input and output data, and it is the input data. So it is a classification regression, clustering associations. It is a prediction and predictive models. It is a prediction and predictive model. So supervised learning is a input output pairs use, and then unsupervised is uses the unlabeled data, and supervised is a labeled data use. And advantages of the supervised learning in the today's era, because supervised learning it is a part of machine learning. So advantages of that supervised learning, it is a advantages including the accuracy, predictive analysis, objectives, high performance and objectives and evaluation, versatility and adaptabilities, interpretation, continuous improvement, scalability, predictive power. It is all that advantages of that supervised learning, and disadvantages of the supervised learning is supervised learning disadvantages is learning after post methods and unsupervised methods. It is a disadvantages is data labeling recruitment requirement and risk of overfitting, computational cost, sensitivity to data quality and limited generalization of that disadvantages of the supervised learning. And then unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning use input raw data and then algorithm interpretation and processing, and then it is a output. And then how unsupervised machine learning works. So it is a step 1, step 2. It is a provide the machine learning algorithm uncategorized in labeled input data to see what patterns it finds and observe the learn from patterns and machine identifies. It is a processing and then machine. It is a machine and then distribute in the similar group 1 and group 2. And types of problems which situated clustering identify similarities groups and anomaly detection identifying algorithm abnormalities in data, abnormalities in the data. For example, hacks interrupt in our network. For example, it is a data in indicates certain patient type of unsupervised learning as a dimensionalities reduction, clustering, text mining, face recognition, big data visualization, image recognition, biology clustering includes biology, city planning, targeted